Welcome to Chamber Exchange, a TV show. My name is Tim Murray, President and CEO of the Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce. And Chamber Exchange, a TV show, is an opportunity for you, our viewers, to hear from business leaders and organizational leaders here in Central Massachusetts that are making a difference and assisting the community economically in a variety of other ways. I want to thank our sponsors who make the show happen, Bank Hometown, for their support. And I'm thrilled to kick off the show today with Paul Medeiros, who's the President and CEO of Easterseals.
Thanks for having me, Tim.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Paul, welcome. Well, Easterseals, pretty well-known organization generally, but we don't want to assume anything. Maybe you could kind of give our viewers a little background on Easterseals, kind of the history and the mission.
Sure. So Easterseals has been around for over 100 years now, nationally, and over 75 years locally in Massachusetts. But what you said is exactly true. People have heard of us. They're not always sure what we do, and that's because we've evolved over the years. But basically, we're a disability service organization, so we provide services to people with disabilities of all ages, all types of disabilities, whether it's physical or emotional or intellectual. And again, we work with babies, we work with seniors, and everyone in between. So we have a really wide-spanning mission.
So a private, nonprofit organization that works with individuals, families on a whole host of fronts, and in terms of with disabilities and challenges.
Absolutely, yeah. We're really focused on working in the community with people. So, we don't do a ton of work in our offices. We go out to people's workplace, their homes, their schools, and we really work individually to make sure we're meeting people's goals to make them as independent as possible.
And these are, supports and assistance that's provided above and beyond some of the maybe governmental programs that exist?
Yeah, we can either be a supplement to some of those programs. So we may work with the state on providing services or with your child's school on providing services. But we also fill gaps. So where we see there's needs in the community, that's where we'll create new programs to make sure that those are filled. And then that's where we need the generosity of our donors to make sure that we can help people.
Yeah, and that's a gap that, filling those gaps is really critical. I mean, when you're dealing with young people, there's certainly, legally required to provide good services and programs, but there's after school, there's summer, there's vacations. So that having those resources is really critical to do that.
For sure. Yeah, our mission is to provide services to ensure children and adults with disabilities have equal opportunities to live, learn, work, and play. So like you said, it's not just, one small time a day. It's what are they going to do after school? Are we going to be having some fun? Or are we going to be going to work or school? We're really making sure we're touching every aspect of your life.
And there's a couple programs I know coming up real soon. There's an empowerment celebration that's taking place.
Yep. So that's at the end of June 25th. We're actually mixing it up this year. This is our awards celebration. Typically we've done a gala, but this year, with COVID-19, we're kind of taking it to the afternoon and being outside. This is the first time we're able to have the event in 3 years.
Wow. Yeah.
But it's a good one where we have some really strong honorees. We're honoring Senate President Karen Spilka, Oz Mondahar, who worked with the Partner System, and Comcast NBC Universal, who's been a big supporter of Easterseals. They've all been really big advocates and champions for the disability community.
Yeah, which is important. And then another event, Move With Me.
Right. So this is really a fun event. It's a community event, and this one's evolved as well. And this was feedback we received from the disability community saying it used to be a walk. For 30 years we've been doing walks. They said, well, what if you can't walk? So we changed it to Move With Me, and people love it. It's just for the month of July, we're asking people to move however they're comfortable and raise money and create teams to help Easterseals. And then on July 30th, we're going to all gather at Polar Park. And we're going to have just a celebration. So we hope people will come, bring their whole families. I think I'm going to be in a dunk tank that day, so it should be pretty fun. Yeah. But that's just really we call it our final lap, where we all get together and celebrate and just, all get together after raising money for the whole month.
Right, and so the whole month, teams and individuals, no matter where they are in Massachusetts, can go out and kind of do a movement type of event that raises dollars, and then the celebration culminating at Polar Park.
Right. We have a lot of fun ways people can kind of show what they're doing, whether it's by social media or sharing with their friends, and we'll be sharing that throughout the month just to get people inspired. We also have some recreation programs like our martial arts, and completely accessible martial arts, which is a fun program. Mm-hmm. We have swim, we have summer camps, so we'll be kind of inspiring people too with some of the movements our clients do as well.
And Paul, before we get to some of the new programs that Easterseals in Massachusetts, I just want to go back for a minute. So the organization has existed nationally for 100 years, here in Massachusetts 75 years, and you know, as you're kind of describing the array of programs and summer things that are happening here, just in, you know, your ability to serve individuals with disabilities is across the state. Are there offices? How big's the staff, and how are you able to really meet the needs in terms of that staffing?
Right. So yes, we are statewide. So Easterseals is a national organization, but there are affiliates throughout the country. So our service area is the entire state of Massachusetts. We do have an office in Boston, and we have an office in Worcester. Mm-hmm. And then we have kind of satellite partnerships throughout the state where we have desks or offices that we collaborate with other partners in the community. We have a staff of over 200 people. Like everybody right now, we could hire more, and it's really challenging. But you know, we do our best. We are truly, you know, border to border. I think we're all the way in Boston. We're all the way out in the Berkshires, providing technology and job training. So you know, we are a statewide organization. But yeah, we can always use more people. So if people are looking for work, come to Easterseals.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you know, I just want to, people who maybe watch this show religiously have heard me say this many times, but you know, the single biggest issue that we hear from our, you know, 2,300, 55 members is the need for workforce. They need talent. They need employees and access to that. And you know, the work that Easterseals Massachusetts does is really critical because we can't have anybody on the bench.
Right.
And there are many people out there with disabilities who can and want to contribute, want to work, and you help facilitate that. So that's, you know, important. So if there's an individual out there that's looking to access services, if there's a business that says, you know, I want to learn how I might be able to employ somebody with a disability, how can they reach out to you and get information and learn more?
Sure. I mean, the easiest way is come to our website. We keep it updated. It's eastersealsma.org. And then you can go right to the drop down to the employment section. And you're absolutely speaking my language. You know, we know there's a shortage of people to hire in the state. But with that said, people with disabilities are underemployed. So we work with everything from people getting back to the workforce after an injury, people with chronic disabilities. We even have a program working with high school students, helping them get their first work experience, because we see one of the big barriers to students with disabilities coming out of high school and college, they don't have a work history.
Right.
So they're behind their peers who might have got a job at a grocery store or something like that when they were in high school. So we're now working with those teens to get that work experience through internships and jobs when they're much younger.
Yeah, that's really important. Yeah. Well, some new programs. We want to get into that while we still have time.
Sure. So one exciting new program we have an assistive technology regional center that we have in both Worcester and Boston. We now have a van. So we're able to take our assistive technology center on the road to some of the underserved communities who maybe don't have access to transportation. So it's really exciting because people can borrow equipment. They can trial equipment before purchasing or before going to their insurance company. So now we actually have the ability to take this mobile van, take it into someone's community, or take it for an event that someone's having, and let people trial technology, whether high tech or low tech, whatever they might need. So that's really exciting. It's just going to really expand that program. And then one of my personal favorites is the College Navigator program. So one of those gaps we saw was in students dropping out of college with disabilities.
Right.
So we provide just a little support to get them the resources they need to
Yep.
kind of fill that gap they might have from high school age. And we've just seen massive success, and we've grown the program from our first student up to already we're over 125 now throughout the state. So
Well, Paul, thanks for being with us and all the good work that you and your team are doing across the state.
thank you. Thanks for having me again.
We're going to come right back.
These days, you've got your hands full in life. That's why we help you bank simply and securely with tools like Face ID and Touch ID. It's why we make it easy to make purchases on the go and get cash back while you're at it. Why we help you quickly deposit checks wherever you are. And it's why we lend a hand with sending and receiving money right from your phone. So even when you're on the move, you can manage your finances. Bank Hometown. Unlock your potential.
Worcester, a city with heart, history, and promise. A hub of innovation in life sciences, education, and healthcare. Home to multi-generational families, first-generation citizens, and next-generation baseball and hockey greats. Home to great parks, world-class museums, theaters, and restaurants. Worcester, the place to visit, to invest, and to call home.